Hey guys, it's Amy from Pretty Presets. I'm answering a couple questions today, and I'm going to do that with video because a few of these today in our Manic Monday post will be easier to see how to do in video rather than me explaining it. So this first one that I'm going to answer is about how to convert the flares, like the when we have the sun flares from the Luminous set. If say you have a color image like this, and then you want to go and so we'll add creamy sun flare to it. So they've got pretty light coming down on them right here. We really like this image. We want to keep that and show that to the bride and groom. But see, we also want to do a version of it in black and white. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a virtual copy of it in black and white. So we've made our virtual copy, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to use my favorite Pretty Onyx. Okay, so what you'll see here is that where that flare hits has also, it stayed a color. So see, it's right here on his jacket. It's all up through here. So it didn't convert over with the black and white preset. And I know that can seem confusing. I know that even when I did it the first couple times, I was like, wait a minute, what happened? So what you have to do is you click on here to find all the dots that come up when you are using the flares, and then you're going to click on it, and then you're going to come down here to color. You're going to click on this box right here, and then you're going to move this little dropper all the way over to the corner, and then you'll be done with that one. See how now on his jacket, so this was the pin here that was causing that color on his jacket, so we've taken care of that one. So now we click on the next one. So you have to do this with each one of them. Then you click on this box again. You could down in the corner here because this is where you're going to have your white sample from, and you just kind of keep doing that for every single one of them. It can seem rather tedious, but it's totally worth it when you find an image that you want to keep and you want that flare to be in there, because it does add something dramatic to the image, but you also want to make sure that it looks right. So you just keep plugging along, and if you're anything like me, after a while you forget which ones you've clicked on. So you can also move this arrow or this slider right here down to the corner, and I believe that also changes it. So you can see how each of these are like strategically placed so that they create a nice, wonderful flare for you. So you just kind of keep going along, and you can always check back here to see if it's one that you've changed. We haven't changed that one yet. Okay, have we done this one? Nope, haven't done that one yet. We did this one. We did that one. Not sure about this one. Yeah, we did this one. So that should be all of them. So let's close that out. And so now you don't have the the coloring from the flares, but you had that light source that the flares provided. So hopefully that makes sense for you. I gotta get a drink. 5 bonus points if you can guess what I'm drinking. Okay, I'm gonna move on to Tina's question with her glass that she had. Let me go through here and find it. I am getting quite the ginormous downloads folder here that I actually need to go through because most of the pictures belong to you guys and not to me. Okay, so this is the picture that Tina had, and what she wants to do is she wants to be able to print this as an 8x10, but if she prints this as an 8x10, what's going to happen, and this has actually been a big topic lately in the group, what happens is the ratio is going to be off because your camera shoots in a 2:3 ratio. So what that means is any print size that goes by a 2:3 ratio, so that would be a 4x6, that would be a 8x12, and so you just go up from there. So those print sizes will look exactly like this. No chopping will have to happen. There won't be any tiny little amounts taken off the sides or anything. But if you were to go and print this just as it is, and want to do it as an 8x10, you're going to lose part of it. You're going to lose part from the sides and part from the bottom. And I know when I first started shooting and I first had my business, I was like, that's just crazy talk. I don't understand why I can't just order my print and have it look exactly like it looks right now. I had the hardest time wrapping my brain around that, and now I totally understand it and it makes sense. So I have to always be sure that when I'm shooting, I try to make sure that even if because I always have a prime lens on my camera when I'm shooting, unless it's a wedding. So I have to make sure that if I want close-ups, that I do a couple that I'm standing closer to the subject for an actual close-up, and then I can move back a little bit and get another close-up, but have a little bit more room around the subject's face. So that way, if mom and dad decide, because I have had senior sessions where they decide to order like a 16x20 canvas, well, the last thing I want is for them to order a 16x20 canvas and, like, you know, half our head gets chopped off. We don't want that to happen. So you always have to keep in the back of your mind that you don't know what the end result is going to be of your image. And so you don't know what size they're going to want to order it as. So you always want to make sure that you're keeping a little bit of room next to the image. So if Tina had a chance to reshoot this, I'm sure that she would leave more room on the top here and more room on the bottom here, and probably just a little bit more room on the sides. That way, when you go in for an 8x10 to cut it here and then either on top or on bottom, the image would still look the way that you want it to look. So one thing that she was talking about was being able to do this in the print module, and being able, and she didn't mind it having a white border around it, which is good because that's exactly what she's going to have to do if she wants to maintain the integrity of the picture as it is and how she shot it, unless she wants to do an 8x12, which like if you're ordering, you know, really quick from Costco, or, you know, you need it tomorrow and you can't wait for your lab to get it to you. A lot of labs, like I know Target and Costco and places like that, don't do 8x12s. You know, we normally order through professional labs anyways, but sometimes when you're in a pinch, we've all been there, we go to Costco and we just don't tell anybody about it. So if she wants to do this in the print module, you're going to have to do the white border. And the way that I did this was I just went over here and I chose this right here, 8x10, and then over here on this side I clicked on single image, and then I unclicked all of these. There were a couple of them that were like you can do that. I had some of these set, and so I had to unclick them. If you zoom to fill, obviously you're going to lose part of your image. Rotate to fit, we don't really want to rotate it. So if she's okay with having a border, then that's great. You can kind of use this this right here to see if you want to put a line around your border. I don't suggest doing that, so I would just uncheck that personally. Then what you can do is you come down here. Hold on, I need another drink. And then what you do is you come down here and you double check that the sizes are what you want. Now, when it says cell size, we're going by this right here. So if you wanted to actually adjust this, and this right here is the right size. So if you want to, let's see what happens if we go keep square. Now we don't want to keep it square. You still have all your image though, Tina. Okay, so I'm just kind of playing around now. So if you want to do that, just, put it here in your print module, make sure it's an 8x10. You just kind of have to play around a little bit with this over here. Depends on how big you want that white border. If you want it to be as big as possible, or if you want the white border to be as little as possible, then you just have to kind of change the cell size over here. So then you can go down here. If you want to keep, I'm assuming since you were going to do it as a gift, you're probably going to take your watermark off. But say this was something that maybe was like, maybe you partnered up with a boutique or something like that, or a local winery, and you were doing like a series of images that were going to be displayed in the business. I would talk to them about having your watermark on the images, and then you would do that in this section here with the identity plate, and then you would be able to put your watermark right down here, which would be really nice. So somebody, and I'm actually going to use this right here to transition into another question that somebody had. The question had to deal with what was the best way to export from the print module. And the best way to do that is very similar to how we would export just as though it were a regular print. You want to make sure up here that you've got your JPEG file checked. So go through it and check that. I've got my file resolution at 300, and print sharpening. This to me is a personal choice if you're going to click on print sharpening or not. When I'm editing, I sharpen my pictures in editing. And so whenever I export my images, I don't ever click on the box that sharpens the images, because then you're going to have images that are over sharpened. And so if I'm doing like a set of pictures that's going to be exported for a client, I don't sharpen those when I export them, because I've already sharpened when I'm editing. I like to be able to see the photo exactly how it's going to look, so I don't want that extra sharpening on top of what I've already done. And I don't always trust everything to sharpen it the way that it should be without me doing it, so I've just always chosen to sharpen myself. So I would leave this unchecked, but if you do not sharpen your images, then you may want to click on this. So the person that posted that question about the sharpening, I remember you saying that your sharpening was really, really high. So if it was really high and then maybe you clicked on this as well, it may be overly sharpened, because you can over sharpen something and then it doesn't look really good at all. So the JPEG quality is going to stay up at 100. Custom file dimensions, if you were to click on that, then you'd be able to change these numbers right here, but we're not going to be doing that. You want to make sure that you've got sRGB clicked and not one of these other two, because these will mess with your color files. So if your files are looking all wonky, that would be why. So if it looks great right here, but then you export it and you go to put it on Facebook and it doesn't look good, that's why. It's because you probably have one of these chosen. So we don't want that to happen. And then all you need to do, you're ready to save it and be done with it. And so you would go over to here, and then you make sure that you are saving it as a JPEG. That's the only option you have, actually. So then you would come up here and you would name it. You make sure that it's in the file or in the folder that you want it to be in, and then you click on save, and you're done. That's all you need to do. It's pretty simple to do that. So I am going to go ahead and close out this video. I know that there are more questions that I'm going to answer in another video, but I will end this one now. So hope this helps you all, and go on out and create something pretty today. Talk to you later.